So the only card I run on my side deck is Darkhold because I'm too poor to run a Regeki.
And that about wraps it up, I guess.
Yep.
Alright. What's going on, guys? It's MadMatt9955 here, and today we're going to be doing another deck profile, but instead of my deck profile, I'm going to be doing one of my friend's deck profiles, so he's going to be showing us kind of how it plays. So I'm going to flip the camera over to him, and yeah.
Hey guys, my name's CJ. I'm here to do a deck profile for you guys for Phantom Knights. Alright, so here we got Phantom Knights. I always run 2 scales because they're like kind of the bread and butter. I don't run 3 just because I don't. All the Phantom Knights have cool different effects that they can do in graveyard to grab stuff from deck, or special summon themselves out of the graveyard like Scale does. Scales has the effect while he's on the field to discard a card to send a Phantom Knights card. Any Phantom Knight card, as long as the name in it appears as Phantom Knights. So an example you would want to send your Cloaks. Cloak here has a nice little effect while in grave to banish himself to grab a nice little card that is a Phantom Knights. It can be spell or trap, but you can also grab a monster. I always grab Boots because they have the effect if you control a Phantom Knight monster to special summon themselves. I always run 3 and 3 of these. The reason why 2 is because these guys, if you banish a card that's Phantom Knights in the graveyard, they special summon themselves out. You can only do that once per turn though, for all of their effects. So the other little part that I like to do is run the Burning Abyss combo. So my favorite part for the deck is running Tour Guide. So I always like starting with Tour Guide more than Phantom Knight is because he's more of a recursion card. So normal Tour Guide, I have Sangan for my target, for my level 3 Fiend, because that's what Tour Guide does. Bring out Sangan, I would go off into my Link combo, and then pop off from there. Alright, let's move. So, I also run 1 Stained Greaves, because if I special summon while he's in hand, I can special summon him, and I don't have to, increase his level by 1. So, I can do that. While he's in the graveyard, I can banish him to bring out a Phantom Knight special summon from my hand.
What would be the purpose of making him a level 4?
For making him level 4, I could go Alien Dragon,
okay,
so that I can use my rank up magic to go into Requiem.
Cool.
Which I'll show you my rank up magic here in a minute. So the last Phantom Knight card I use that is the monster is Phantom Knight Gloves here. So Gloves has a nice little effect where if I bring him out and I XZ summon, it gives that XZ's monster plus 1,000. He has a nice little effect to send a Phantom Knight's card from deck to grave. So I always run 3 Phantom Knight Fogblades. So the reason why I run 3 Fogblades is because I think it's their best trap.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. See, Fogblade has a nice little effect where you can activate, target a effect monster. It negates their attacks. They can also not attack or be targeted for an attack while this is face up on the field. So essentially you can stop whatever play they're doing. Like,
it negates their effects too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you negate their effects, and then this has a nice little effect where you can banish this to special summon. So a little combo you could do there is target one of your Phantom Knight monster cards, like your Cloak, special summon it back off that, and then you can chain to that the Scales effect, as I was mentioning earlier, because that's a Phantom Knights card.
Cool.
So you get 2 monsters off 1.
That's an instant Cherubini, basically.
Yep. I run 1 Phantom Knight sword, though I normally side 1 in depending on what I'm playing against, so I have 2. Mm-hmm. They have the same effect while in grave as the Fogblade, but their effect while on field, it's constant effect. So it gives your monster plus 800 attack, and you can destroy this instead of it dying to battle or card effect. Cool. And keep your monster on the field. So my rank up magic. Here's my rank up magic. I run 1. So this allows me to special summon a Xyz monster of Phantom Knight. You got your dragons, which is my Dark Rebellion and Requiem. So I normally have him come out first. So my Phantom Knight Break Sword, he has a nice little effect where I can detach a material, target 1 card I control, my opponent controls, destroy them both. So after that, I have 2 Phantom Knights in grave, special summon them back as level 4s. That allows me to go into my Rebellion Dragon. Then I would use my Rank Up Magic to increase his level. And boom, I'm going to Dark Requiem. Cool. Requiem has a nice little effect, along with Rebellion, or do Rebellion first. Rebellion has a nice little effect to detach both his materials, and then it makes the opponent's monster lose half of its attack, and it gains that, and that's a permanent effect. So instead of being 25, it gets increased. So Requiem has the same effect, except it loses all of its attack, and then he gains it. Cool. So if my opponent would activate a monster effect, I can detach as a quick effect, which is pretty much like a spell. Mm-hmm. I can remove a material and negate the activation and destroy the card. And then I can special a Xyz monster from my grave. Cool. So I do have some extender cards. So when I normal summon, I can special summon all 3 of these if I have all 3 in my hand.
Kind of looking on it.
Yep. Special summon all 3 of these, and then instead of using my starter card that I had, I can go straight into my Link 2, which I'll show you guys here in a minute, for Cherubini. So Cherubini, she has a nice little effect where I can send a level 3 monster.
It's basically anything in the deck.
Yep. Pretty much all the cards in my deck is level 3 or less. So I have to send a level 3 or lower monster, which tends to be my Burning Abyss Graph. This is the only one I run in the deck, along with Seer. So when I send my level 3 Graph has the effect to bring out a Burning Abyss monster from my deck and special summon it. So when this is on the field, this is my link zone, I bring this right here so that it points to here. So she has the effect while a card is in a zone she points to, it is not destroyed by card effects.
Cool.
Then I would go Link 3 into my Bardiche. And then Seer's effect would pop off when he gets sent to the grave. Special summon her back, which I can continue to extend and go into my other links. Cool. So some other extender cards I have.
And then adding, if you want me to, I can just rearrange that so that your extenders are all with your extenders, and then you're at.
Yeah, fuck that up.
You're good.
So as long as I control level 3, I can special summon either one of these, as long as I don't have... Sorry, excuse me. As long as I don't have an additional Psychic Wielder on the field or a Psychic Tracker.
Cool.
They allow me to special summon, and if they negate my Tour Guide effect, I can special summon them.
They're
and
also
then go into my
level 3s
Cherubini.
too, right?
They are, yes, level 3s.
Cool.
And then if I control no monsters, I can start off by summoning my junk forwards. I typically always special summon in defense position just to be safe.
Yeah.
So they have the effect while I control no monster to special summon themselves. Alright. Then I have some hand traps. I run 2 Ash and 2 Effect Veilers because I want to typically go first. And if I go second, then I have my Effect Veilers and my Ashes. So I run 2 of those. So the Effect Veiler I use on my opponent's turn, and it's only during their main phase. I can quick effect to tribute it off, or discard it from hand, send it to the graveyard, and have that monster's effects negated until the end of the turn.
Cool.
So Ash has the effect where if an opponent were to add a card from deck to hand, special summon from the deck, or send a card from deck to the graveyard, I can negate the effect, or negate the activation. And I can only do that once per turn. Well, I can do this multiple times per turn for my Effect Veiler. So if I have no starter cards in hand, and I have my Reinforcement of the Army, this is where I would go into my Torn Scales.
Yeah, basically just search anything you want.
Any warrior, yeah. As all my cards are level 4 or less, but I'm pretty sure they're only all level 3s.
Yeah.
So I get any of my warrior monsters, which is all my Phantom Knight cards. Alright. I have my E-Emergency Teleport, just in case I can get a normal summon. And then I can get a second one to go into my Link plays. If I get negated in the beginning, so I don't get my effects in the beginning, to get another monster on the field, this helps me get into my Link plays to continue my plays. I run 1 Foolish Burial, because I can only run 1.
Yeah.
Send any monster I want to the grave. I also run a Called By. Called By allows me to...
basically just negate anything in the grave.
Yeah. Then I run Instant Fusion so that I can go into my Borrowlord Savage Dragon using a level 5 tuner.
Cool.
And then I got my Forbidden Chalice.
It's just another monster negate.
Yep. It does give the monster that I negate 400 attack, though, which is only a little bit of a downside.
Yeah.
But it negates until end of turn.
So that's your main deck?
That is all of my main deck.
How many cards you got? 40?
I have exactly 40 cards in my main deck.
Cool. Consistency is key.
Yes. So I'm just going to go through all of my extra deck real quick. 1 Cherubini with 1 Rusty Bardiche. Then I run 1 Nightmare Unicorn just to help get rid of one of my opponent's monsters or cards that I need off the field.
Yeah.
I run 1 Appaloosa because I'm running monster negates in my deck.
Might as well have more.
Yep. And then I have 1 Geonator Transverser in my deck. So Appaloosa has the effect, to let you guys know real quick, to the amount of monsters I sent to special summon her from the extra deck. She gained that many counters. So the amount of counters she has is, so I can remove a counter to make her lose 800 attack to negate a monster effect.
Well, yeah, so the counters are based off of her actual attack. So if she has 800 attacks and you have 1 counter,
Yes.
it goes up from there.
So the Geonator Transverser allows me to switch control of the monsters that she points to. So if she's in the zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
The monster zone, I have monster here and here. Or sorry, monster here and here.
Yeah, so you can
Then I
technically
just switch control.
You can technically do 5th with your middle, or you can do their middle with your 5th, basically, or your 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it is.
And then I just gain control of theirs, and they gain control of mine.
Yeah, and like, I don't think you guys seen, but a lot of the cards that are in his deck are really, really low on attack and don't really benefit them at all when they're on the field. So you could like take a big ass boss monster and switch something that's super weak and then just just poke into it.
So since all my cards banish themselves, I have 2 Levere Dragons, which I think is underrated. I don't see like anyone use these. So they have the effect to where I can detach 1 material. It takes 2 level 3s to get a card that is banished that's level 4 or lower and special summon it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. I can continue my plays. Then I have Utopic Future and Draco Future that are both numbers. So as long as I control 2 rank monsters that are the same level, I can take both of them and then put him right on top. So he has a nice little effect to where if he attacks into something, then I gain control of it until the end of the turn.
And you can
really
do
nice.
You can do rank up too for Draco Future.
Yep. I also don't take any battle damage involving this monster, and neither does my opponent.
Cool.
So the number right here, Utopic Draco Future, he has a nice little effect to where if my opponent activates a monster effect, then I can negate it and gain control of it. And that's not until end of turn, that's permanent.
Yeah.
So he also has 3,000 attack, which...
It's a big body right there.
Yeah, he's a big body. Then we all have the Almighty Zeus.
Almighty Zeus.
So as long as I attack with an Xyz monster, then I can put him on top of the Xyz monster, and then he has a nice little effect to where I can detach 2 material and get rid of everything on the field except him. Now, if anything cannot be targeted or affected by monster effects, or cannot be affected by monster effects, then they stay on the field, which is a little bit of a downside if you're facing Paleozoic.
Yeah, he plays against my Paleo sometimes, so he's a little salty about that. But...
Yes, I am. Oh, man. So then we have the 1 Rebellion with the 1 Requiem.
Yep, for the rank up.
Yep. And then you should run 2, but I only have 1 currently of the Break Sword because they have a nice little effect, which I told you guys about earlier. Take 1 of yours and theirs, pop.
Yeah. And then you get back your 2 level 3s for level 4s for your rank up play. Mm-hmm.
For my instant fusion target, it does make me lose 1,000 life. This is what I would bring out. So as long as I control another level 3 monster, I could go into a synchro for Borrowlord Savage Dragon. So when he gets brought back, if I have a Link in the Grave, as an example, my Nightmare Unicorn, he gains attack equal to half, so he would be at 4,100. And then he would gain that many counters equal to its Link rating. So he would have 3. So he had 3 counters. He can only use one once per turn, and it's an Omni negate. So whatever it is, he can negate it, and then that's pretty much it. But you can negate one of the things they're trying to do, which can severely help you.